And that's a very complex thing because on BepiColombo we have 16 instruments on both spacecraft, and all in all there's more than 30 sensors. And so not only technology-wise, also from the science, it's a very complex mission.
Okay, we're going to hear more from you when you come back, because Johannes has never seen a launch. Excuse me, he's going to go out on the terrace with all the other VIPs and give us his reactions, hot reaction, when he comes back. So don't get lost. See you later. The split screen image on the screen on the left, liquid hydrogen, on the right, liquid oxygen. These are the propellant feeder arms in the middle of the launcher. We'll get another shot of that when we pull back. They are putting fuel into the upper stage tanks, and you'll see the arms, and you can see them there in the center of the screen, coming out of the gantry into the upper stage. You'll see the arms pull back at 7 seconds before ignition. What are the people doing? They're going out onto the terrace there, because we have two terraces on either side of Jupiter that give a wonderful view onto the launch pad, which is about 15 kilometers away from us here, and that's where Johannes is gone. The DDO is going to call out.
Top à 0 moins 1 minute.
And there we are. We're into the final 60 seconds as the crowd gathering on the terraces. Give us a chance to say hello to our friends at JAXA Tokyo, Airbus in Friedrichshafen, to our industrial partners, ESA, including ESAC, where we'll go momentarily, and CNES, and to all of you following the broadcast on the internet. We hope you are enjoying it. We're going to cut away now and let you listen to the DDO as he calls out the final countdown. Watch for the cryogenic arms to open and enjoy the liftoff.
DDO, attention pour le décompte final. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, top. Allumage Vulcain. Allumage 2EAP, décollage. Propulsion est nominale, la trajectoire est nominale.
Roar of our engines, a lot of fire, and with BepiColombo on board, DDO says all is well. The two boosters now providing 90% of our thrust, propelling the launcher along her trajectory at an ever higher velocity. 780 tons at liftoff, that's the mass. And to get that sort of mass up, you need a lot of push, and push we have. She's burning 5 tons of fuel every second. 2.5 tons being burned every second in each booster, plus the core stage burning another 300 kilos of fuel every second. Ariane 5 putting on quite a show. And I can't wait for Johannes to come back and tell us his reactions. The sky is clear. You should be able to see separation of the boosters, maybe even separation of the fairing. We'll find out momentarily. Ariane 5 now following the program and the onboard computer, which gives all the orders, including stage separation. We'll soon see that in just about 30 seconds from now. We are in the first of 4 flight phases. The first 3 are powered, and we'll describe each in turn so you can follow. Right now, the first flight phase, the single first stage engine, and the 2 boosters are burning. The boosters will each consume their 240 tons in just over 2 minutes, and in just about 10 seconds. They will be the first to be extinguished, and you'll hear that from the DDO, but you'll see that on the screen. You'll see the flame out there.
Pilotage calme, trajectoire nominale.
There it is. You see the main point of light in the middle, when we come back to that, and the 2 points of light on either side are the boosters. That's what it looks like up there. There's another booster on the port side, of course, out of camera range. But you see the main point of light looks like the moon in the middle, and on the side the 2 boosters flame. French Guiana, in part chosen as a base for its opening on the ocean, launching launches, posing no threat to the local population, of course. We're waiting for Johannes to come back. Before he comes back, our next milestone, separation of the fairing. That's next up as we continue to follow Ariane with looks like a ground camera or the naked eye.
Séparation de la
The
coiffe.
launcher making her way. The DDU has called out separation of the fairing. And this is what that looks like. There's another half on the starboard side, which is falling into the Atlantic as well. We can separate the fairing now. Why? Because we're out of the dense layers of the atmosphere, of course. Over 100 meters altitude. And you can see on the bottom of your screen on the left, our altitude 140 kilometers. And on the right, our speed, 2.4 kilometers per second. We can also discard any dead weight. The fairing, weighs 2.5 tons. So it's a good idea to get rid of it now that we can. The guests coming in after being treated to a wonderful sound and light show. On the left there is the satellite, the white boxes below.
It's fantastic. I've never seen that before, and it was great.
Yeah. What impressed you the most? Was it the sound? Was it the light? Something else?
Oh, it was the brightness of the rocket when it went to the sky, and you could not see the rocket. It was like a big fireball going up to the sky, and it was really amazing.
Super. Did you see the separation of the boosters?
Yes, you could see it.
Trajectoire nominale.
Great. Okay, so if that doesn't make you want to come down here and watch a launch, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what will. Next up, we want to find out...
Il reste 3 minutes de propulsion de l'EPC.
I imagine like most missions you had some problems. We're going to have to go to a film, but give us a first taste and we'll continue after the film. Any problem that you solved that you remember?
Oh, BepiColombo was a bumpy ride from the beginning. We had issues with the solar panels, which were not standing the combination of heat and solar radiation, and for that reason we had to make them much bigger and tilt them by more than 80 degrees.
All right, we'll get the details on that in a moment. But first, a film on the other milestone scientific missions launched by Ariane. Flights, maybe you were even here in Jupiter for the launch like Johannes was. We were just picked up by our first downrange tracking station. We promised some information on those. It's located in Natal, over the border in our neighbor Brazil, run by the Brazilian Department of Defense for CNES in an agreement with ESA. Now, we are building, BepiColombo is going to build on some of the science that was discovered by Messenger, the NASA project. How so?
Yeah, before the NASA project Messenger, we did not know much about Mercury. We only had data from flybys in the 70s, and also there we could only see one half of the planet. And even people, when they heard about BepiColombo, found it's a boring target. But all that has changed after Messenger, because we found out that Mercury is a fascinating, surprising planet with a lot of mysteries, which some things which we have never expected before. For example, formation temperatures were measured, which are much lower than expected. You would expect for a planet close to the sun, the temperatures are much higher, but actually we found them were much lower, comparable to formation temperatures of Mars. So there could be the idea that Mercury is formed somewhere else, so that would be fascinating.
What argument did they use to say that it's a boring target?
Oh, in the beginning they said
that sounds
they had no atmosphere, only a few craters. They didn't expect life on Mercury, and for that reason, maybe it was boring.
Okay, we have had cutoff of the lower stage engine and separation of the lower stage engine, and as you can see on the animation, ignition of the upper stage, all on time. These are 3 commands given by the onboard computer in about 13 seconds. So we are now into the final powered flight phase. It's the single upper stage engine that will burn until plus 2510, or another 16 minutes roughly. The job of the upper stage, taking the satellite to its injection point, positioning it for separation, and then releasing it. That's its propulsion role. But she also has a second role, and that comes during Ariane 5's what they call ballistics phase. Our next film from ESA, an overview on the BepiColombo mission.